I'm about to make keto people really angry, but before I do that, I'm going to give keto a little bit of credit because there are some benefits and there are some reasons why it works, why it can work, and why people think it works, but there are also lots of reasons why people fail, especially given our dietary preferences as Muslims. The two main reasons people think that keto works is number one, when you cut out all carbs from your diet, you do lose some water weight. So even though you're just getting a little bit dehydrated, the scale does reflect some very quick results, which makes you think it's working, which can be very motivating for some people, even though you didn't actually lose body fat. Now, the second reason though is a little bit more scientifically compelling. However, I'm going to show why it's bogus. When you completely cut carbs from your diet, your body is forced into a state of ketosis. This means that it switches from burning carbs as a primary energy source to burning fat as a primary energy source. And so this means that your body is burning fat for fuel 24/7, which is 100% true, and it sounds very compelling on the surface. But then all these keto people start pushing and saying, oh, you must cut out carbs if you want to lose weight, blah, blah, blah. And you start thinking that this is actually a superior method for weight loss. And even they think it's a superior method for weight loss, even though when you do it and you have to cut out rice, bread, all the other stuff, you end up just falling off. So even if it was the best method, why would you do it anyways? But I'm going to show you why it actually isn't the best method from a scientific perspective, in addition to the obvious sustainability concern. And it comes down to one simple thing, which is the fact that just because you're burning fat as your primary energy source doesn't actually mean that you're going to lose body fat. I know this sounds super confusing, but let me explain. And this will help you finally understand why some people get great results on keto and some people fail, and why some people can eat a ton of carbs every single day and still lose body fat. And no, it's not genetics. It's simply just calories in versus calories out. Let me give you an example. Let's say you have two twin brothers, Mohammed and Ahmed. Both of them start off weighing 230 pounds and burning 3,000 calories per day. Mohammed eats 2,500 calories a day and plenty of carbohydrates, versus Ahmed eats 3,500 calories a day, but he eats no carbs. He just eats a lot of fat, and he's burning a lot of fat because he's eating a lot of fat and his body's burning it for fuel. However, in Ahmed's case, because he's eating 500 calories above maintenance, he's actually in a calorie surplus. So even though he's burning fat, he's actually gaining body fat because he's eating more calories than he's burning. So if he keeps eating so much over the next couple weeks and months, he's eventually going to weigh 245 pounds, even if he initially lost some water weight on keto when he first started and cut out the carbs. On the flip side though, Mohammed is going to burn less fat because he's using carbohydrates for fuel, but since he's eating below his maintenance calories, even though he's burning carbohydrates for fuel, he's still going to actually lose body fat, despite the fact that his brother is the one eating all these fats, burning more fat. He's actually going to lose more body fat because he's in a calorie deficit. And the best part is, because he can eat rice and bread every day, he doesn't fall off the diet, so he's actually able to sustain his results for the long term and keep the fat off for life. Versus even if Ahmed got into a deficit, which is how you do get results on keto, because if you're in a deficit and you're on keto, you will lose fat because you're doing, a deficit, which is what's required for fat loss. He still has a much higher chance of rebound, because what Muslim in the world could avoid rice and bread for the rest of their life? What's going to happen when you go to a family function? You're just going to not eat rice and bread for the next 20, 30, 40, 50 years. And the problem is that on keto, you get super discouraged, because if you do slip up on the diet, have a cheat meal, whatever, you gain all this water weight back and you think you gain a bunch of fat, when in reality it was just that first 5-10 pounds of water that you lost the first week on keto. And so I know you've heard it a million times before, but calories in versus calories out, well, it's not the only factor. At the end of the day, all the other factors end up factoring into your energy balance, and you must be in a calorie deficit in your energy balance to lose weight. And of course, it needs to be a sustainable calorie deficit, which is why keto is not my favorite method for fat loss. For Muslims, eating more carbs, complex carbs, lean proteins, fiber is the best method for fat loss, because it allows you to eat your favorite traditional foods prepared in a way that's usually lower fat, so that your calories are lower but your protein is higher, to preserve muscle mass, so all the weight you lose is exclusively fat. Now, the same principle applies when people tell you that you need to be in fat burning zone cardio or do fasted cardio because you're going to burn more fat. Yes, you're burning more fat just like the person on keto, but if your net energy balance is not a calorie deficit, then you're not actually going to lose body fat, despite the fact that you're burning more fat. Even if you get 30,000 steps a day, if you're still eating more calories than you burn, you're not going to lose body fat. And even if you're only getting 5,000-6,000 steps a day, if you consume less than you burn, then of course you are going to lose body fat. So the secret is always in the middle, meaning you want to eat a diet that's a sustainable calorie deficit. I'm not telling you to eat 1,200 or 1,500 calories, because that has all kinds of consequences on your energy levels, but it actually makes you burn less and ruin your deficit. While at the same time, if you're eating 3,000 calories a day, there's no amount of exercise you can do to get into a significant enough deficit to actually lose body fat. So there's two things I want you to do right now. If you're somebody who wants to take charge and actually figure out how to create a sustainable calorie deficit, comment M3 to learn about the different things that we have to offer to help you with this. And if you found this video helpful and insightful, share it with somebody who keeps falling for these fad diets and gimmicks, who needs to just learn the real science behind this, so they can finally stop yo-yoing up and down with these fad diets and actually finally get the results. Share this video with them, and I'll see you in the next video, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.